Hello everyone. This is my solution for challenge activity 11.1.2 basic inheritance. So the question is assign course student's name. Course student is right here. Assign course student's name with Smith, age with 20, and ID with 9,999. Use the print all member method and a separate print line statement to output course student's data. Sample output for the given program is just this. Okay. So let's scroll up a little bit. First we have person data, and it contains an age and a last name, and it has the methods set name, which sets the last name, and set age, which sets the age, and then it also has print all, which prints the name and age. And then down here we have student data, which extends person data. So what that means is that student data has everything this person data has as well within it. So all this right here is effectively like right here, like inside of this program, before this line, like between here and here. That makes sense? So, but it adds some extra stuff on top of it. So now, since it's a student, they have like a student ID, so they have an ID num, in addition to also still having an age and a last name. And the ID can be set with this new method set ID, and it can be returned with the get ID. So first, the program this already creates an object of the student data class that you can use, and that terminology just means student data is a class, which is all classes are like a data type that you create yourself, and course student is a variable of that type that we've declared. And by declaring it, we make an object, right? So an object is a variable that is of the type of a class. Okay, that's probably way too confusing. So let's start with just the basics. So the first thing to do is set the name to Smith, the age to 20, and the ID to 999. So to do that, we first have to type course student dot, and then we can access these methods inside of the course student. And remember that student data, so it has the methods inside of student data as well as the methods inside of person data to access. So we do course student dot, and then first thing we need to do is set the name to Smith. So up here in the person data we have set name, and then it takes a string. So we can do set name Smith. And then similarly we can do the age. The age is set age. I'm going to set that to 20. And then we have the ID, which is actually down here, which is set ID. 9,999. Okay. So now we've taken this object course student and we've set the ID, we've set the age, and the last name. So it has all the data that it needs. Now next, it wants us to print the information in this format. So the natural thing to do is to do the print all statement, but notice that the print all is only part of person data and not student data. So it doesn't contain the ID number. It'll print the name and then the name, name and then the name right here. And then it'll print comma, space, age, and the age. But this part right here, it does not do. So we're going to have to do that ourselves. So it's very important to actually read the print all and see that it doesn't do exactly this. That's why we need a separate print line statement. Okay. And then later you figure out that you can actually put another print all in here that prints this, that overrides this print all, But since this is the beginning of the chapter, they didn't want to confuse you too much. They're just saying, take this print all and add the extra stuff to it. Okay, so to do the print all, we do course student dot print all. And notice that we're not assigning the return to anything because it's void anyway. See? And it doesn't take any arguments. So we're literally just calling it the method with no arguments in here. And it's not like x equals or anything like that. It's just course student on print all. And similarly, these don't return anything because they're changing stuff inside of course student. So they don't need to return anything. That's why those are also void right here. Okay. So this will print up to here. And now we just need to print this part. So let's do that. Quote, comma, space, ID, space. And then we need to get our ID number out of course student and print it. So the way to do that is to use get ID from student data. So we just do course student dot get ID, and then we're done. So only 5 lines for this one. So that should be all, unless I forgot anything. So let's see. And there you go. So this is just showing you how to create an object and initialize an object from a class, set the values in the class, and then use the print, and then print the additional stuff from the inherit from this subclass. And also it's showing you that the way that subclasses and superclasses work, where you don't have to do anything different to access the stuff in the subclass or in the superclass and stuff in the subclass. It's basically exactly the same as just having all of it inside of one class. Like there's not like course student dot super dot anything. Like I'm gonna erase that immediately because that's not what it is. It's just like this. This is all you need to do. So I hope that was helpful. And yeah, this is the end of the class. So I had a really fun time with all of you and the people that I met and talked to. And I hope that you guys have a great future with computer science. And hopefully I'll see you again. I'm not taking 205 next semester, unfortunately, because my schedule is just way too packed. So, but hopefully I'll see you guys around and we'll keep in touch. So, bye.